steamy, hot, erotic story plays with your mind, it plays with your heart. Hello wonderful people, and welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time joining me, welcome. My name is Giselle, and today I'm here to bring to you really great, exciting interracial romances. Like, who doesn't like a good interracial romance? Well, I do. I am here to share with you 9 great, magnificent, marvelous interracial stories. So, if you like reading interracial romances, stay tuned and listen up. First up, I have a mafia romance, an interracial mafia romance. For those who have been watching my videos, you know I love a good mafia romance because they don't disappoint. There's something in a mafia romance for everyone. So, first up, I have Sienna Mynx Battaglia Mafia series. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry, people. So I apologize. And this series follows Giovanni and Myra. Let me just say, I am obsessed with this series. I love it so much. I love Giovanni and I love Myra. So it follows Giovanni, or Don Giovanni. He is the leader of a ruthless crime family in Italy. And Myra, she is an African-American fashion designer. She decides to go to Italy. She's in need of, some TLC, a little vacation, and she's encouraged by her best friend, who is part of her company, because yes, people, in 1989, she owned her own company. And she is going to Italy, and there she meets Don Giovanni. However, Don Giovanni, or Giovanni, is a man who knows how to get what he wants. In order to be in that position, you have to know, or you have to be able to do things that no one else is willing to do. So he comes up with this plan because he needs this particular building, and this building is owned by Myra. So, this led them on this kind of collision course where they had no choice but to meet. And when they met, Don Giovanni, or Don Gio, he loved what he saw and he went after what he saw. In the first book, there is heated passion between Gio and Myra. You have explosions, you have murders, you have family secrets being told and being discovered. You have Myra faking her death. It doesn't have you thinking, well, it has me thinking like, what went on here? I know what went on, I read the book, but you have to find out what happened. And then this is in book 1, Destino, and then you have like book 2, book 3, book 4, and you cannot help but read one story to the next. Now, I have been reading this story for a while. The last book came out in 2019, Vita, and listen, it had so much family drama throughout this series, because you know what? You had jealousy and envy from another family member, from Giovanni's cousin Lorenzo. You had Myra discovering she had a secret twin sister that she knew nothing about. You have Myra finding out that her father was a don in Italy, because she knew nothing of her parents' background whatsoever. But yeah, it lends itself to so much things. There's so much twists and turns and plots throughout this entire series. You just love it. Like Giovanni, he is your typical alpha male. He is dominant, but he doesn't know how to deal with a successful black woman, and he has to come to terms with that, because Myra, she didn't take things lying down. She ran away, had his daughter. Giovanni found her and took her back to Italy to raise their children together. They got married. She got pregnant with twins and didn't even realize she had a high-risk pregnancy, almost died, got kidnapped by her ex, who's part of the triad. It was so much twists and turns. And don't even forget about family rivalry. Like, it's all there. And throughout this series, You find out more, you find out more, you find out more, and it keeps you wanting more. Sienna did an excellent job with this series. You need to check it out. Next up, I have Black Rainbow by McAvoy. Now just listen to that, Black Rainbow. You know from just hearing that with black, it have some nice chocolate, sexy woman in that book. Now this story follows Thea and Levi, and it's one of a forbidden romance. Thea and Levi, they meet at the spa, and they have this glorious, heat-packed, sensual, passionate night together. And it's so good that they don't want it to end, and they decide, you know what, let's do this for a week. So they planned this entire week together, and it was awesome. And they decide, like, after this week, no strings attached, we're going to go on our daily lives as if nothing happened, back to their regular lives after this one passion-filled week. So Thea, she's a law student, and she has this particular class. So she enters this class, and who can you see? Who do you think she saw? Levi. Levi is Professor Levi Blackman. And she's like, should I stay? Should I go? But I need to do this class because you know what? Thea, she's on a mission to earn her law degree because her father is in a prison. He's on death row, and she can't get a lawyer to take the case because it seems as though he's guilty, but she knows that he is innocent, and she's going to try to set him free. So she needs to do this class because she needs to earn her law degree. So she's there, and in this particular class with Professor Blackman, they have this history together, and just having to sit there time and time again, you know how university classes are, and you know how it is because you're going to be seeing this person on a regular basis, and you already know what it's like to be together. So what do you think? Yeah, they tried to not succumb to temptations because they were tempted. They were attracted to each other, but were they successful? No. And let me just tell you, that just made for the sexual, intense, erotic, steamy situations. Like, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. So, this story, it just follows them. In this particular class, Professor Blackman, he usually chooses 12 students to become his disciples, and they get to intern at his law firm. Thea was like, hell yeah, I'm not going to let whatever is between me and my instructor affect my grades or affect my mission, because she already made up her mind. She is going to be one of the 12 disciples, and she's going to be an intern in his law firm. And she did that, and obviously she brought up the case with her father, and they went about trying to solve this case. And it looked like, it was just proven, it was just he's guilty, but she was able to prove it, and it just made their relationship even stronger. Like, Black Rainbow is such a good interracial romance. It's intense, it has mystery, it is steamy, it is everything you want in an interracial romance. Definitely check it out. And if you know McAvoy, she is a really great writer. She's a really great author, and her stories are magnificent. So this one was no different. Another great interracial romance. It's written by Saffire, and it's called Wyatt The Heartbreaker. It's friends to lovers romance, and let me just tell you, it was really good. Wyatt The Heartbreaker is the first book in this series. It's called the Brother Black series, and it follows all the brothers, or all Wyatt's brothers. So let me just say right now, this book was hot, right? It was hot, but I'll get into the book now. So Wyatt is asked by his family to collect Nellie at the airport. One of his brothers goes with him because he has no idea what Nellie looks like. Although she's a very good, close family friend, because of a bit of an age difference, they never met, and she was always closer to one of his brothers. So he goes to the airport, he's there, and he sees this short, dark, scrumptious, chocolatey looking woman, and he's instantly attracted to her. All right, cool. But Nelly's not about that, because she just came out of a relationship where her partner was very obsessive and abusive, so she doesn't want to enter into any relationship. And Wyatt, he's like, hey, I really like her. He's very aggressive in his pursuit of Nelly, and eventually he breaks down her walls. All right, eventually he breaks down her walls. She gives in, and they form a really good friendship, because she starts to feel safe with him. And one thing leads to another, and eventually, bam, right? Eventually, bam, they hook up, and it's good, it's awesome, it's hot, it's juicy. My heart is racing, because the scenes in this book, Wyatt know how to put down, and that's why he has that reputation out of all the Black brothers. I'm just saying, because it was pretty steamy. Within this story, you do have some suspense, you do have some mystery. It's quite intriguing. Like, I don't like a boring book. Like, it just cannot be plain Jane romance. There must be some extra something, and this book has it. This book is not no insta love book. No, it's no insta love story. Wyatt had to work for it. He had to work for Nelly cookie. Like, Nelly wasn't giving away her cookie just like that. He works for it, and he was well rewarded for his efforts. It's a nice story. It's an easy read. It's enjoyable. You're going to start to read from the first page, and you're just going to love it, and you're going to continue page after page after page until you're like, oh, now it's time for Noah's story. So, just saying, this is one of my favorite out of this entire series. You should definitely try to get your hands on a copy of this book, because you're not going to be disappointed. You're not. You're definitely not. Next up, we have Broken, written by Sirrah. I've never read any of her books. I think this was her first book, and it was marvelous. Broken was marvelous, just saying. So it's a billionaire romance with a twist and very hot erotic situations. It was good, right? Trust me, it was good. The story follows Novelly, and Novelly, she's in university studying to be a dentist. She comes from a wealthy Black family, and when she was younger, something happened to her and she had to live with her dad and her stepmother. And then you have Connor, he's white, his family's rich, and he's just, making billions. He's always out there. But Connor is a playboy, and Novelly shouldn't hook up with those type of men. She's very safe. She will date someone for a year before she has sex with them. That's Novelly. So Novelly and Connor, they met at her best friend's wedding, and he sees her and he's instantly attracted to her. She's attracted to him, but she's not going to act on those feelings, because she's not about getting hurt. She got hurt before, and she's not going down that road a second time. When they meet at that wedding, they probably interact for a few minutes. They mention first names. There was no exchange of numbers. There was no exchange of anything. They meet again, and they have like a little more conversation. Connor lets her know that he really likes her, he's really attracted to her, and maybe they can try something. And Novelly is like, no. Initially, Novelly is like, maybe we could be friends. You are a playboy, you have sex with women, you don't remember their names, you don't remember their faces. I am not one of those women. We could be friends. But you know what? Eventually he breaks down her walls. He is very persistent with his pursuit of her, and eventually they do form a relationship. However, they don't jump into the bed right away. Novelly is like, no, we need to take our time, and Connor is all about proving that, yes, I'm very serious with you. I'm very serious of wanting a relationship with you, and he made it clear that he's not a cheater. Woohoo! Good for Connor, right? Novelly, she is very compassionate, she is very loving, totally, she's a great individual. And in her relationship with Connor, she realizes that something is wrong. She realized that he has some sort of barrier that she just cannot get through, and it results in a deal breaker for her because, spoiler alert, she finds out that she's pregnant with twins, and this is a deal breaker for her because they are to be parents, they are to co-parent. Then she has to be able to, be able to communicate 100% with Connor, and he's not doing that, and it's a deal breaker. And she's like, you know what, we can't be together. On top of that, her best friend, she hears a conversation with Connor and her best friend, only to find out that they were together when they were younger. And this just, puts a really big, huge mountain or a huge gap in their relationship. They try to work things out, and they do. But let me tell you, when Novelly hears the secrets, when she discovers what happened to Connor when he was younger, this big family secret, or I should say this big secret that Connor has, she is left stunned. And she understands why this man is the way that he is. And it totally reflects in the title of this book, Broken, because Connor is a broken man. This story, it's very fast-paced, it is exciting, it's not action-packed, no, but it does have you wanting to find out why is Connor acting this way, why he is the way he is. And let me tell you, his mother, the mother is questionable. I'll just leave it as that. She's questionable. Really great read, loved it. Get your hands on it. I totally was not expecting what Connor revealed. I was not expecting that. And Novelly's best friend's Amy, that best friend Amy is secretly in love with Novelly. She's also in love with Connor, and she's married to Connor's best friend Quinta. Like, hold be yourself. How much people you want? Stick to one now. Stick to one. The next story I'm going to tell you about. Suspense, check. Mystery, check. Steamy, check. Y'all, this interracial romance I was not prepared for. Just saying, I was not prepared for. It was great. Like, it was not boring at any point in time, because I have read some interracial romance and I'm like, no. This one was not like that. All exciting, they're all intriguing, and they are all page turners. So this book, Back to You, it's written by Khardine Gray, written as Bella Fonte. Back to You follows Lana and Ryan. Lana, she is the daughter of the living maid, and Ryan, he is the son. Ryan family, they own a lot of money, they own companies, businesses, and they have like their living maids and butlers and all these things because they are wealthy. They also live in a small town. Lana came to live with Ryan's family when she was around 10 years. So it follows their friendship, enemy-ship kind of ship, and and then it takes you to present. So initially, Lana had a crush on Ryan. He did have feelings for Lana, but Lana is the help. She's the help, and he's not going there. And this guy would torment Lana. He would pick on her. She didn't have a good early teen years. And then, things changed when they were around 18 years, and they got in a relationship and things were going great. Everything was working out well for them until her mom committed suicide. When her mom passed away, Lana had no choice but to leave because she's the help. She had a choice, either work for the family or leave. And Ryan promised that, okay, let's run away together. And she did what she had to do, and then Ryan never showed up. She left. It was very difficult for her. She left, but she made something of herself. because she always wanted to design, and she became a well-known fashion designer. Okay, fast forward 17 years, Ryan shows up and he's like, your mother's case has been reopened. They no longer think it's suicide but murder. And she packs up and she goes back to the small town. Talk about drama, talk about bacchanal and suspense, and this is like, whew, whew. Because as their case with Lana's mother is investigated, things are revealed. I don't want to say any spoilers here, but things are revealed, and let me tell you, somebody's a murderer. Someone in the household is a murderer. It was so good, but let me tell you something. Ryan never stopped loving Lana. His feelings never went away. They both were still strongly attracted to each other even after 17 years. So when they finally hooked back up after 17 years, you know things were on fire. You know that sheet was being ripped off the bed. You know things escalated because it was that hot, it was that steamy, it was wet. It was wet. This story was wet. Lana and Ryan, just saying, the suspense, the mystery, the sexual tension. Listen, it was so good. The story was so good. I love it, and I recommend the story to a lot of persons who are interested in reading interracial romances. Next up, I have Wicked Games, written by Maureen Smith, and this is the first book in the Denver Rebels series. And this is book 1, just by the name of it, Wicked Games. Honey, it was definitely wicked. Naughty, wicked. Nadia, she doesn't date jocks. She has in the past, but she was burnt too many times, and she's like, I'm not going there. I don't want anything to do with any sporting personality, any athletic person. No, she's not having it. However, her twin brother is a sports reporter, and he drags her to hockey practice. And there, all right, Reed sees her and he's attracted to her, and he's like, okay, I need to meet this dark chocolate. I need to meet her. And Nadia's brother is like, okay, well, I need a story because I need to make it big. I need a story. And he approaches Reed, and Reed is like, here, what? I'll give you a story if you introduce me to your sister. And obviously it happened. Nadia, she doesn't take him on as much because, again, she's not into jocks anymore because of terrible experiences. But Reed doesn't give up. No, he doesn't. He finds her at a college fair, and they meet again, and he tries to engage her and asks her out. They do go out for coffee, and things pick up from there. She realizes that Reed is different from the other guys she has dated, but it's something that she slowly enters into. She does not rush into this relationship. She does take her time because she has trust issues. Let me tell you, there was some bacchanal in it, there was some drama in it, and they did face obstacles that interracial couples face, because she comes from a very strong Black African American family. So you already know there was family drama, right? There was family drama. Reed and Nadia, they grew together. Let me just tell you something. See, Reed is a man who knows how to put on work. Reed, he knows what he's doing in the bedroom. No question asked. That is just putting it lightly. This book has just the right amount of heat, spice, passion between Reed and Nadia. When you read those steamy situations, you are going to be fanning yourself, because the temperature in that room, wherever you're reading that book, is going to go up. It's that hot, it's that spicy, it's that wet, it's that juicy. And I'm all for that. You know that. I'm all for that. I don't know if anyone ever heard about this book named Queen Move, but this book is off the chart. It is written by Kennedy Ryan. This is a friends to lovers / second chance romance. Y'all, this book is good. This book is so good. It is so good. It follows Sirrah and Kimber, and you're going to fall in love with Sirrah and Kimber. Sirrah and Kimber, they were born on the same day and they moved into the house right next to them. So Kimber and Sirrah, they celebrated their birthdays every single year together. They became best friends as they grew up. However, their relationship did change a bit when they hit their teens, and they wanted to try this boyfriend-girlfriend thing. However, disaster struck. They were forced apart due to some bigger family conflict, and that was the end of their friendship until they met years after at Kimber's dad's funeral. So there she's grieving the loss of her dad, and Sirrah comes and he's like, I'm sorry for your loss, and she sees Sirrah's son. So by this time Sirrah has a baby mama and he has his son, and she meets them and she's like, oh, I'm so happy for you, and then that's it. Then they meet some years after. However, this time around, there is no girlfriend or common law wife or anything like that in the picture. No, this time they actually have a chance to be together and try to build or have a relationship. Sirrah is having difficulties in his relationship, and his girlfriend decides to call it quits because she's not being fulfilled in that relationship. And I guess it's because Sirrah always kept a part of himself, particularly for Kimber. So, you know what? His girlfriend is out of the picture. Kimber is single. They meet up and they closely bonded because they always had this special connection to each other. They bonded and it was great. It was great. Kimber, she is a very strong, confident, sexy woman. However, she's also very loving and vulnerable. And Sirrah, he's strong, he's protective, he's quite intelligent, and he's a great dad. Regardless of the fact that he wants this relationship with Kimber, he is putting his son first and foremost, and Kimber just loves that. In their relationship, they face obstacles because Kimber's career, she's into politics, she has some health issues that she recently discovered while they were together, and there's always that baby mama drama because she left, but now she's seeing that Sirrah is happy. She wants to come back in the picture like, hey, you can't have your cake and want to eat it too. You need to choose, boo, right? You need to choose. So this just makes a very exciting read. All this drama leads to heightened emotions and intense situations between Sirrah and Kimber. Let me tell you, from the first page, you are going to be hooked. From the first page, and you are going to want more from Kimber and Sirrah. They are so explosive together. They are explosive together. It is steamy, it is sexy, it is lustful, it is sinful. This book is so good, so good. And the last book, it is called Everything is Everything by Pepper Pace. It is an older book. I think it came out around 2014 or so. But this book, it is so good. It's also an interracial romance. And in this book is very emotional. It touches on, yes, interracial issues. It also have elements of sexual assault, drug use, elements of violence and street life, because it follows Vanessa and Scotty, and they are living in the projects. Vanessa's mom, she is a prostitute, and she's working to get her daughter out of the projects. And Scotty's a white boy living in a black community. Like, this is going to be some kind of intense emotional read. With Scotty and Vanessa, they meet in their teens and they form this relationship. It is one where they provide emotional support to each other, that they are one another's support system, because what they are going through at that age and in that community, they face so much. And you see their relationship grows. You have where unfortunately they don't get to remain together because Vanessa's mom is murdered and she has to leave to live with her grandmother. However, as soon as she finishes or graduates from high school, she goes back to spend some time with her cousin in the projects because they lived not too far apart. And she goes back to see Scotty, and the Scotty that she knew is not the Scotty that she saw at present day. Scotty, he had to make sacrifices for his family. He had to do something that he never wanted to do, and enter a life that he never wanted to enter. Like, he was trying so hard not to become involved in that street life, but it happened. And you see their story just, you know, go through so many ups and so many downs. Quite an emotional read. You cannot help but, you know, cheer for, I'm getting all emotional. You can't help but cheer for Scotty and Vanessa. It's a duet. Everything is everything. As soon as you read book 1, you're going to read book 2. Yo, this is so emotional and touching. This is such an emotional and touching story. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. And for persons growing up and during that decade, like, they can totally relate to what was happening with Vanessa and Scotty. Like, they go through so many adversities to get their happily ever after. This story, it is not one of my usual steamy, hot, erotic, you know, lustful reads. But let me tell you, this story plays with your mind, it plays with your heart. So that brings me to some of my favorite interracial romances. They follow different tropes and different sub-genre of romances. Let me know, did you like some of these recommendations? Have you read any of these books before? If you have, leave a comment down below. Was it as emotionally intense for you as it was for me? You know, let me know. Let's communicate. Let's chat. These books mentioned are great. They are interesting. They are intriguing. It's action-packed. It's drama-filled. It's everything that I am looking for in a good book. And these authors, they are magnificent at crafting really good, intense stories. Thank you for watching another video. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love that you show me. Thank you so much. You know what? Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I post a video. Thank you for watching.